Welcome back to Blackwell Convergence and to a fight in progress between the Countess and Joey. I don't really know what we're supposed to do here.
Joey, are you alright?
Just peachy. Get out of here, will ya?
Does that mean literally leave?
Damn it, it's not working. All this ghost activity must have shorted out something.
That's awfully specific. I don't think I needed that much of an explanation. Alright, let's go outside. Maybe Nishanti's out here or something.
Come on, come on!
Oh, okay.
Stupid elevator.
Not out the
Stuck
elevator
a few
then.
floors down.
Nishanti?
Nishanti? You home? Nishanti? She's not in. Not that it matters. She wouldn't be able to protect me from a ghost anyway.
So by process of elimination, we're... Oh. I don't actually...
No idea who lives there.
Okay, it's awfully loud. And there's no adjustment for that. I just have to deal with the fact that she's being drowned out by the music.
Where is she?
She isn't far. I can sense her.
You think I'm telling you?
Where?
Well, I know for sure she's not through that door behind you.
What, so now I can go back in the apartment? What am I doing in here? She's just gonna come back in.
No place to go. I can't run away unless Joey comes with me, and Joey's the only thing holding her back. Come on, Rosa. Auntie did it 30 years ago, so can you.
Auntie Lauren's picture is wiggling.
I wish you were here, Auntie. I really do.
That was a very nonchalant... Oh.
That's far enough, sister.
Joey, leave it.
Leave it like hell.
Oh, the girlies are fighting again. Okay. What do we do now? The picture's no longer there. Was the picture wasn't there before, right? It hadn't been hanging in our... all the pictures are over here. Well, now we probably can't leave.
I don't know why I even bother keeping that. Remote controls don't work when Joey is around.
Yeah, well, let's keep musing about our, what about the ghost drum?
It's fine where it is. No time, no time. I've got to do something.
What do I do? I go in my bedroom?
It's too early to sleep.
I think there are more pressing issues than the sleeping part of this. Oh, I can't go out from the... Alright. So what?
Get away from him.
Kid, she's here to kill you. I can handle her. Just think of something.
Oh, you can handle her. Okay, so I'm not protecting Joey. I don't...
No time. No time. No time.
It's funny, she says no time for all those other things, but like...
I don't have... I can't think. Hey, Griff, how are you today?
She has time to greet the
Holding
teddy
yourself
bear.
Together? Awesome. I'll water it later. I'm not rooting through my trash. Get away from...
Kid, I can...
Can I... Oh, can I switch? Hold on.
I'm...
I can't get close enough.
Wait, why am I... I'm on Joey, but apparently that's... Oh! Auntie's picture is in my, What do I... use this on her?
Hey, look at this.
That's...
Ooh, that's... I wanted to help her.
And look where it got you. You think anyone
That's such a
appreciates
stretch.
your help?
No. No!
Okay.
How did we end up here?
I have brought you here. You are safe now. I have saved you.
Saved me? What do you mean saved me? What did you do? Joey, did she kill me? Am I dead?
I don't know.
Is
Lady,
this
I
is this the
suggest
only
you
time
start
Joey's
talking.
seen this place?
There is nothing to say. You are safe.
I don't remember.
Both of you.
My dear, you carry on so.
Oh, well, now we've got our fourth player.
It's you. I've been looking for you for so long. Why did you leave me?
My poor host, you cast me out. You broke our bond. It's too late to repair it.
What? No. Why would I do that?
Host?
Your mind is so broken that you do not remember. My, you are a mess. You don't even know your own name. Countess, indeed. Regardless, it is time for this to end.
End? Is there an end?
Oh,
You,
was
there
this
can be,
her
if you let me.
I trust you.
spirit guide?
I
And then
always
she...
will trust you.
Rosangela Blackwell, Joseph Malone, it is a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm sorry it had to be under such unpleasant circumstances.
Sorry about the
Unpleasant is
coughing.
Right. Who are you?
My name is Madeline, and a long time ago, I was this poor soul's spirit guide.
Okay,
She
you could have led with that a
corrupted
long
our
time
bond,
ago.
And I'm afraid the damage to both of us was quite severe. Can you help us? Can you help us end this cycle of death?
Is she my grandma or something?
Who are you?
As I said, my name is Madeline, and a long time ago, I was a spirit guide to the woman you know as the Countess. We were bonded, much like you and your guide are, but much has changed, and time is short. Will you help us?
I mean, yeah, but...
I know you.
I have been trying to reach you in your dreams. At long last, I am able to manifest myself here, but time is short. Will you help us?
We've got some questions first.
Yes, I'm sure you do, but time is short. Will you help us?
Yes, I'll help you. I don't have much choice. She's killed me.
Killed you? No. She left you quite unharmed. But regardless, there is
Allegedly.
no time to waste. Come with me. Now just relax.
Hey, what's the big idea? All right, you. Talk. Where are they?
The pattern. They're going to fix the pattern.
Talk sense, will ya?
The source. Cut off the source and the pattern will revert.
Why do I bother? Great. Trapped on another plane of existence with the Countess of Crazyville. They better know what they're doing.
Why are we going to a diner?
Hey, what happened?
Is this the restaurant
How
at the
did
end
you
of the
do that?
universe?
This is where the link originates.
Link?
The bond between your Countess and her hosts. Part of her is trapped here. You must remove it.
What? What does that mean?
So strange and beautiful. Madeline, could I...
Of course.
Where are we?
You have been to this plane before. You have brought many lost spirits through here.
Well, yes, but there was never a diner before.
I can understand your confusion, but it is not a real diner. It is metaphorical. As you know, there is a bond between the Countess and her current host, and the bond is represented by this diner. You will find out more inside.
Wait, what do you mean host? Host to me implies possession, but you're... but then you were saying that you're her guide, and then I was assuming that host just meant like the counterpart to the guide, where the guide is the ghost and the host is the host is the physical person. But then you said that like the host and the Countess are two different things? Confused.
Why is it represented by a diner?
The Countess used to spend lots of time in diners like these. You will find out more inside.
This bond, how do I break it?
Part of the Countess is trapped inside. You must find it and remove it.
This is... I mean, this feels like it should be interesting, but it's coming out of nowhere. Like, it's not connected to anything else we've had in this game, or really the other ones either.
This bond, how do I break it?
Part of the
How did the Countess break the bond between you?
She did not break the bond, but moved it. To be rid of me, she had to form a bond with someone living. Someone who could, in essence, become her guide. How she acquired this knowledge, I do not know. I only know that it was accomplished.
Who did she pass it to?
Joe Gould. It was an easy task, since his mind was already broken.
Huh?
Upon Gould's death, it was passed on to Joseph Mitchell.
Oh.
And now Charlie Meltzer.
Yes, it must be broken if this is to end.
why would it move to Charlie Meltzer? I guess they worked at this. They both worked at the New Yorker. That was the connection, right? But that's such a stretch. Like, I don't think they implied they worked together.
How did the Countess get so...
Insane?
Yes.
Like you, her mind is a door to another plane of existence. By corrupting our bond, she opened that door so wide that it flooded her mind with unfathomable knowledge. She essentially has the universe inside her head, and no human mind can contain that. It broke her. She sees everything but understands nothing. If she didn't banish me to this place between worlds, I might feel more pity.
I feel like you're burying the lead here. Like, if you were her spirit guide, then you should have been present for most of the stuff she does. And so it shouldn't have been a surprise, or at least not, completely out of character when she broke the bond with you. This feels like you're shirking some responsibility here, but...
Did you know her when she was alive?
Of course. We spent almost 30 years together.
What was she like?
Different. Happier. She loved helping those in need. But it no longer matters. She is the one who needs help now.
I don't know. If I was gonna be more suspicious, I'd say that you're the problem and that you're lying to me.
Thanks, Madeline. I'm going to see what I can do.
I will be waiting right here.
For the upteenth time, I have no money for your fund.
Show
Oh,
some pity. At least lend us a cigarette.
Ahem. I believe we got company.
Ah. Miss, could you perhaps spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
some even crazier than normal levels of hair, man.
Hello. You're Joseph Mitchell, aren't you?
I believe you have the better of me, Miss
Blackwell. Rosangela Blackwell.
Blackwell, huh? I might have known.
Yeah, you knew my aunt.
You met my auntie.
Your auntie, yes. I do see a slight resemblance. I did warn her to leave well enough alone, but she was determined. Let's hope that you can do some good here.
What are you doing here?
We are echoes, leftovers, if you will. We were linked to the Countess when we were alive. When we died, part of ourselves got trapped here.
So you're not a ghost?
Not fully. I'm not sure what I am. I remember living, I remember dying, but I don't feel like Joseph Mitchell. All I know is that when I thought of death, an eternity with Joe Gould was the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, I guess that you did know each other, didn't you?
What is your connection to the Countess?
I don't know. I never met the woman. Joe Gould was the one who knew her. He had a special bond with her, apparently, but somehow he passed it on to me when he died. Next thing I knew, I was murdering people by writing about them. There was no choice. I had to stop writing.
I studied some of your work in journalism school.
Now that's just foolish. I was a relic, even before I died. The city I wrote about has long since evolved and changed into something completely different. But that's New York City, isn't it? Wouldn't be New York if it stayed the same year to year.
That's a very, I don't know, I guess he's bitter about the way the last 30 years of his life went, but still, that's a particularly unthoughtful way of seeing your own legacy.
I'm sorry you had to stop writing.
So am I. But what else could I do? Let innocent people die? No, I don't regret the choice I made. Not for one moment.
Did you know Charles Meltzer?
Yes, I did. He worked at the New Yorker back in the late 70s. He would come into
Okay.
my office and ask about the old days.
Wait,
I was
how
happy to
old
tell
is
him. I knew
he?
he would never cut it as a
He
reporter,
looked
but he had a
maybe
very
like he was in
keen
his
analytical
40s,
mind. I
maybe
almost forgot all
50s if we
about
were
it,
really
but
pressing
it
it.
appeared a link formed between us, nonetheless. When I died, my connection to the Countess passed on to him.
In the what do you say, late 70s? Even in 79, I think if we're being generous, we'll say that in current year, which I think is 2007, 2008, right? That he's maybe in his 50s. So from 2008, that would have been almost 30 years. I suppose he could have been 21 working at the New Yorker, but that's with pushing everything to its limits. That was just a poorly written line. You didn't have to write it that way. You just wrote yourself into a corner for no reason.
Charles Meltzer is using the Countess to kill people.
By accident?
No, on purpose. He sent her after me.
Now, that's a shame. I'm aware that through my actions I killed a few people, but I could forgive myself for it, since I was unaware of what I was doing. But many times I thought to myself, I have a weapon. It's untraceable. Nobody knows about it. I could use it, but I did not. I was tempted, but I did not. Not once. You have to stop, Charles. Break this link, destroy this place. No more innocents should have to die.
That's a wild thing to think, I feel like. Like, with the exception of some of the true monsters of history, maybe. Like, this is the same thing as thinking about, like, the Death Note, which I think was a thing that those of us anime fans back in the day had discussions about. Like, who would you use the Death Note on? And it's like, nobody. I don't want to even... Like, there are people I really dislike in the world. But very few of them... Like, the people I think about disliking in my own life, I would never wish death on them. That seems crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm an outlier in that respect. The only time I could ever imagine wielding that kind of power is for, like, great true monsters of history. Yeah.
How do I break this link?
I wish I knew. I'm afraid all this is a bit beyond me.
Why did you write about Joe Gould?
He's a fascinating man. Intolerable company, but fascinating. He exemplified everything about New York at the time. Its artistic expression, its frustration, its joy and heartbreak. His oral history, or the idea of it, energized the work of dozens of writers and intellectuals. But the more I got to know him, the less I wanted to be around him.
Did you ever read Joe Gould's oral history?
That, it never existed. Or if it did, Mr. Gould never shared it with anyone, which amounts to the same thing.
You know why I never wrote it down. People would have died.
You didn't stop telling
That's a
people
fair
you were
point,
writing
though.
it, did you?
What could I say? The truth? They would have chucked me in a loony bin.
How do...
I wish, I'm afraid.
Thanks for talking.
Thank you, Miss Blackwell.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ferdinand Gould. I am graduate of Harvard, magna cum difficultate, and chairman of the board of Wheel and Woe Incorporated. In exchange for a drink, I'll recite a poem, deliver a lecture, argue a point, or take off my shoes and imitate a seagull. I prefer gin, but beer will do.
I've been hearing a lot about you lately.
My reputation precedes me.
It is interesting that he's still kind of wacky in this this post-life era where I would have thought maybe he would have come around after being severed. Well, I guess if this is a memory of the Countess's, then she remembers him as the crazy guy
I saw your portrait in the Minetta.
who she broke.
The Minetta. Yes, I'm quite famous there, you know.
I gathered.
It's all thanks to Mitchell, of course. The Joe Gould Fund filled its coffers nicely when he wrote his article.
What are you doing here?
I don't quite know myself. We've all got to be someplace. As I understand it, I was mentally linked to my old friend, the Countess. I wish I'd known. It explains everything that my work was trying to prove.
I mean, that's okay.
Your work.
I have had many callings. I studied the seagulls of the world and learned their language. I spent months measuring the heads of 1,000 Chippewa Indians. But before I died, I was putting to paper the most important literary work known to man, the oral history of our time. It was a compilation of the conversations of the city, overheard in bars, subways, street corners, and diners. Put together and studied properly, it would have revolutionized everything.
How would it have revolutionized everything?
We were all connected, every single one of us. But how? Think of the ramifications if we found out.
It sounds like quite an undertaking.
It was my life's work.
buddy, I have bad news for you. The reality is that most people on some level understand that they're deeply connected to everybody around them. It's just that most people, realizing that, choose deliberately not to delve any deeper and to ignore the ramifications of that, because it is, at minimum, a psychologically stressful thing to be constantly considering. It's also very much in the nature of human beings to try and simplify their lives, avoid difficult things, and I don't want to say it's human nature to be selfish. I don't think I believe that, but certainly not to the amount of labor, mental, emotional, even physical, to be constantly considering the nature of everybody around them, their needs, wants, their sentience, even, like the fact that other people are real. I mean, those are the questions of, those are the questions of philosophers that have been debated, discussed, written about forever. It's not a new idea. Like, you sound at best to be shallowly echoing, the writings of a lot of 19th century philosophers. Yeah, writing down, I know this is the ramblings of a madman and all that, but writing down a perceived explanation of how people are connected would have probably made for a very interesting read, especially with the nature of New York City. New York City is a weird place that I kind of adore, but also freaks me out. And if you were like, yeah, over 30 years, I heard all these stories and made all these connections, and like, these were people who never knew each other, but I have these anecdotes that show that they knew each other indirectly. That'd be a really interesting read. But as like a philosophical treatise that's going to somehow like mind break people into suddenly becoming compassionate, thoughtful human beings, the problem is not a lack of intelligence or a lack of awareness. The problem is that people don't want to. Like, it's too much effort. I hate to be the guy to, much younger than this guy is, but like, I don't think you have to have a drastic awareness of the world or the nature of people. And frankly, if you were observing people in New York City for all that long, you should have come to that conclusion yourself. In addition to everybody being connected, everybody doesn't want to be connected, and that should, unfortunately, it's a very depressing realization to have. But now I'm just sort of rambling on my personal philosophy. That's the nature of kind of humanity, is that they don't really want to work together. It's very high-minded, and it's great that if you can be conscious of those things, to do your very best to be aware of others and be considerate of others at any and all times possible. But even if you are constantly conscious of that, which is a stressful endeavor, you can't be perfect. You are ultimately limited by your direct relations to others and how they choose to relate to you. And if that is an imperfect cooperation, it falls apart pretty quickly, especially when emotions get involved. And it's easy to say, well, they're not meeting me halfway, and suddenly you're the one that's upset, and then you're not being fully considerate, or you're being selfishly, you're taking your personal feelings and needs ahead of everybody else. And you don't even realize you're doing that. Humans are flawed, and their philosophy of the self and the other is deeply, even if there was a full comprehension, it's just not within the realms of a human mind to be perfect in that way. as shiny and beautiful as that might be. Anyway, I went on a big ramble there. Hopefully that made sense and was interesting. I think I'm going to take a quick pause, and then we'll talk to Joe Gould some more.